Hi everyone, it's Morgan from For the Love of Paper with a project life process video for you today. This week I'm using a digital kit from the-lillypad, and they have a monthly subscription kit. This month it's called Viewpoint, and I subscribe to that and I love it. I don't scrap digitally, but I print them all out and then cut out the cards and the different embellishments and stuff like that, which I did all off camera, so you didn't have to see me sit and cut for about an hour. And I do have a silhouette cameo machine, and I do realize I could have just put it through that, but I honestly didn't even think about it. So hand cutting it was for me. Now I'm going through and just sort of designing my layout with all my photos and journaling cards and filler cards and all those sort of things. So normally I do this before I record my video, but I thought I'd leave this in this week so you can kind of see the process that I go through. And I do have to apologize for the light that is shining on the left-hand side of the video. I didn't realize until about halfway through filming that that was there, so I know it's really annoying watching it, but I do fix it up about halfway through. And now I'm just working on my title card, which is for week 21, and I'm using a label from the creative kit from Blanks of Life, and then I'm adding some thickers, which are they're kind of like a wood grain type of look to them, and then going through all those little embellishments that I cut out and finding a little phrase in there, and I think I go with "let's go," and then I add some little enamel dots to that as well and call it done. Nice and simple for my title card this week. And then I'm moving on to photo number 1, which is actually a picture of my son crying his little eyes out sitting on our kitchen floor. And I know that doesn't look very nice, but it was really funny. He was having a bit of a meltdown because I wouldn't let him eat all the cookies that we had made that day. He'd had, I think, 3, and he wanted the rest, and I said no, and he just had a meltdown. So I put some journaling on there that says that I wouldn't let him eat all the cookies, and then I put in those little teeny alphas. I put "it sucks to be 3." Because really it just does, doesn't it? Yeah, you can't always do what you want when you're 3. Mind you can't do what you want when you're 30 either, but at least I don't have someone taking a photo of me when I have my meltdown. And this card just says "from where I stand," and that's just a plain card. All I did to it was add my border and some little arrows down the bottom. Then the next card is, oh, that's right, we went to the park one day and Sam grabbed a stick and he was drawing a stick figure in the sand, and he told me that it was a picture of me. And then it's too hard to see in this photo, I know, but at the top of it there is a teeny tiny little 2 eyes and a nose and a straight line for a mouth. And you wouldn't know it was there unless you really looked for it. So I actually do put a little arrow and point to, please note the face. There is a face on Mummy. And then, look, I've fixed the curtains, so we've got rid of that glare coming in the window. Then he asked me to draw a stick figure of him as well, which I did, and then just added his name to that. I think I do add some other embellishments to that photo, but I'm not sure if I do it now or do it later. Sometimes I come back to my cards when I'm not entirely happy with them. Oh, there we go. I just added some little banners up the top. And then I did journal around the photo as well, just saying what we were doing at the park that day. He absolutely is such an outside boy. He loves going to the park. Even though we have a swing and a slide and trampoline and everything from at home, he still loves going out to the park. This one's a funny photo. My son grabbed my bra off the floor and was walking around the house saying, "I've got boo-boobs, I've got boo-boobs," and I just thought that was freaking hilarious. and of course had to snap a photo of that. It will definitely be one for his 18th birthday to pull out in front of his friends, I think. This photo here is one of us in bed doing some sad faces because it was 5 a.m. and I really don't think that that should be a time of the morning to be waking up. So that was the reason for the sad faces. And I love that it's in black and white. I had it in colour to start with and it just clashed with everything else on the page. And I don't use a lot of black and white photos, but I think I'm going to have to start because they really are quite awesome, especially when the colour of the photo does not go with the colour of your embellishments or your layout for that week. So I'm going to make a conscious effort to do some more black and white photos in my albums. There is one more coming up this week, in this layout I should say. This photo here is doing thumbs up for fruit and veg. I'm really trying to get him to eat more vegetables, so he was helping me with the groceries, and I thought that was a good way to get him to want to eat some more veggies. The next couple of cards, I don't really add much to them at all. He was having a dress-up day, being a doctor and a pirate, so I just added a couple of little phrases to those. Oh, this card that I'm doing here, that actually says in white on there, is my happy place, with some brackets so you can put your own word in there. So I put home, so home is my happy place. And here's his pirate card, and I've been wanting to use those pirate stickers for ages, and I finally got to use them. This card here is of my husband, my son, and my father-in-law. It's one of the few photos I have of the three of them. Yeah, my father-in-law doesn't like having his photo taken. And then I just added some journaling to it, but you'll see in a minute I actually go back because I did not like how it looked at all. It really just looked boring and yuck. So I tried to fix it up and couldn't fix it, so I ripped it all off and started again on a new card. And I love that about scrapbooking and project life in particular. You just grab a new little card and away you go again. And I just added a little rub-on there that says "You are so loved." I was referring to my son. He is the only grandchild on both sides of our families, so he is very spoilt, I should say, and very much loved. And this is a photo of our pancakes. We usually have pancakes at least, oh, that noisy car out there. Yeah, we usually have pancakes at least once a week on the weekend, and these ones I made with some maple syrup flavored sugar, and we don't eat sugar in our house, but someone gave us some of this, so I thought I'd try it, and they were delicious. That is definitely going to be a new favorite recipe. Oh, here's the other black and white photo that I mentioned before. It's actually my son standing in front of a massive window at the shopping centre, and he just looks so tiny in comparison to the big outdoors. And the little tag I put on there says "Where to," which I thought was pretty appropriate. The next few photos and cards are all from the Panieri Festival, which is a Greek festival they have in Brisbane every year. This was the first year we've been to it. We keep saying, yeah, we'll go this year, we'll go this year, and we always forget, or we never have the money, or whatever the reason is. But this time we got invited by my husband's best friend and his girlfriend, so we went along and we had an awesome day. It was so much fun, and my son experienced the carnival atmosphere for the first time and had a go at the games, and I think he had one ride on something and he thought it was just the best thing since sliced bread and did not want to go. He screamed his lungs out when we told him it was time to go home, and then promptly fell asleep 5 minutes into our, or not even, probably 30 seconds into our car ride home. And then the last card that you just saw before was actually a picture of the brochure that we got when we walked in. I didn't want to put the whole thing in my album. In fact, I threw it away before we even left. And I just took the photo and popped that in as a little memento. And that's all my journaling that I did off screen. Now I'll just share some close-ups of each card with you guys. That card up the top there wasn't actually in the process video. It's just an orange card, and I added the little acetate fun stuff to that one. And yeah, I'll be back again in a couple of days with another Project Life process video for you. It'll be week 22, I think. That's all. Thanks for watching. Bye.